Buttons pressed? Good to go. Push your button. Okay.
All right. Call order. Joe.
Well, I'm actually here to say.
I know. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Look, I got the words there for a second. It's a little weird, right? The military guy probably should not be forgetting the words. No. And I was on reserve duty today, too. Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Dunstan, absent. Commissioner Heady,
Here.
Commissioner Padilla,
Here.
Vice Chair Mercado,
Here.
Chair Rife.
Here. All right, we're reorder. I know, Dan, you got to recuse yourself. Okay. So Mark, you want to go first? Or
Well, let's just move it before other business and take care of other administrative items. So
okay,
do
got
public
it.
comment,
Okay,
approval of
okay.
minutes, and then we'll do that.
Okay. So, all right, can I have I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 3rd. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't have any public comments. I have nothing consent calendar, no public hearings. I have no new public hearings. So now we'll move you up.
Yes.
Okay, Mark, you're big on stickler here, aren't we? Okay.
Yes. Just give you an update, Tractor Supply is hoping to open on April 1st. So they're moving all their interior stuff in. They're finishing up the outside elevations, which are matching what the Planning Commission approved. We've worked with them. They kind of missed a white stripe, but the white stripe has gone up. And it looks, so it's starting to look good and finished. And Hampton, as you can see, has the elevator shaft and some other structural members up. And Tilton has poured their foundation, and they're getting ready to put their verticals. And then the Buellton Apartments is getting ready to pour another pad for their project. So
What happened to Chipotle and
Chipotle has their
pads?
they're almost ready to start construction of that, and Chipotle has their tenant improvements at the county for approval. And Habit, I don't think has come in.
No, they were going to submit it last week, but they had a few glitches, so they're...
Yeah,
they
so
should
Habit
be-
tenant improvements are coming in shortly as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so everything's moving, and no other tenants that I'm aware of at this point yet.
Okay. Okay.
Just a question. I've been hearing, you hear rumors all the time, and this was about the bowling alley, looking at the place behind Albertsons.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they are looking at the site actually behind old Nielsen's Market
Okay.
and Steve's Wheel and Tire, that vacant property back there.
Where that building is, or the unoccupied
No,
building?
the
or-
unoccupied
Postal
portion.
annex, that
Oh,
big
that-
lot.
Yeah, south of that,
Okay.
there's a big
Yeah,
vacant lot
there's a-
there.
yeah.
So that's,
Different from the one that Mr. Moriarty talked to us about?
yes, it's a different one.
Okay, so it's a different
No,
Yeah, Moriarty's one is actually
Behind the
right
Albertsons,
behind
not
Albertsons. This
Nielsen's.
one's behind Steve's Wheel and Tire.
gotcha.
Behind
To
the China
the
place.
east of
Okay.
Albertsons.
That big lot
Okay,
right there.
gotcha.
Yeah, all
Okay.
right.
Now, have they abandoned this over here?
Not at this point. The lawsuit, our attorneys are still working through getting the paperwork. There's a settlement conference and all of the things before you actually get before the judge. So all of that paperwork's being worked on at this point. But she is pursuing that other property. And that's common knowledge. It's nothing that was secret or anything. That's been broadcast around town. So
No.
she's looking at
I wanted
that.
to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Not a problem. They haven't submitted anything, but
Yeah.
they have been inquiring and looking at designs on it. But so that's an option
Any-
for them.
Any word for that, what was that, the diner by Motel 6, and that property was purchased?
Correct. I haven't seen anything or heard anything come in on that
Crickets.
site yet.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you, Mark. I assume no planning commissioner have any comments? No. Okay, Dan? Well, adjourn. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Dan.
Do I have to wait till the hearing gets, or
Introduce the item.
Okay, so we'll go to other business. Conceptual review of the Buellton Mini Golf Project.
Mr. Chair, I have to recuse myself.
Okay.
Because?
I live within my development is within 500 feet of the applicant's property.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Sunny. Too early.
You ready, Mr. Chair?
Oh, I'm waiting on you, man. Or, sorry, are you going?
Yes.
Whoa!
Okay, well, good evening, Chair Reif, Commissioners. Andrea Olson, Assistant Planner. This item is regarding the conceptual review of a proposed 18-hole miniature golf course. It is located on 7 parcels, all located in the CR zone. And the project site is located just south of Highway 246, in between the intersection of Avenue of Flags and 246 to the west, and the Highway 101 southbound on-ramp to the east. Oh, yes, I can pull that up. Okay, in addition to the mini golf course on the property, an event center and a clubhouse are also proposed. Currently, no new structures are proposed. The plan is to use 2 of the existing structures and remodel them to accommodate both a clubhouse and an event center. So the Tres Rosas building would be the event center, and the Pink Treasures building would be the clubhouse. And the actual mini golf course itself would be located, or as it currently is indicated in the plans, would be located on the frontage of or on the 246. So basically, a conditional use permit would be required for the project because a miniature golf course is considered an outdoor commercial recreation use, which in the CR zone requires a conditional use permit. However, staff hasn't reviewed the project for full compliance with the municipal code, as this is just a conceptual review. So at this time, the applicant would like to receive comments from the Planning Commission on his concept plan, and also just kind of gauge that the project has the Commission's conceptual support.
And then before you put up the site plan, just on this particular drawing, you can see that little cutout along 246 on the Caltrans. Can you?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I wanted the vicinity map up before you changed the vicinity.
Oh. Okay.
You can highlight the little jog in the 246. That's Caltrans right-of-way, and the site plans that you're seeing do not accommodate that, and that the plans are going to have to be revised to address that. That's a Caltrans easement. There's a drainage structure there that goes into the Zaca Creek drainage, and Caltrans most likely won't relinquish that, so the site plan is going to have to take that into account. Okay, now you can put the other.
So confused about layout.
Okay, so you can see here the existing Tres Rosas building is where the proposed event center would be, and then the
So what is existing parking implying? That there's,
Well, maybe I should, before she gets into that, let me address a couple things. A lot of things are not shown on this.
Okay, good.
So, which one is parking? So we don't know what's going to happen with the parking at this time. So there's existing pavement there. It's not necessarily existing parking.
understood. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is the applicant only wanting us to review his drawings of his putt-putt, and then whether putt-putt's appropriate
No,
for the spot?
it's your first take on whether you think this use is appropriate within the Avenue of Flags specific plan area and on this particular property. Not getting into the details of the project, because that's not where we're at. We don't have the plans at this time. It's like we did with the Moriarty Apartments. We just kind of gave input of, I want you to look at this, do this type of study, etc. So the other issue that's there is access. We don't know where they're proposing access, and Caltrans next year is coming through with their widening project from west end of the city limits to 101, which is going to affect this property, so we have to coordinate those improvements as well.
So this is more a conversation of whether we feel that this is an appropriate use for the site.
That is correct.
Okay.
And then, like we did with Moriarty, if you think a certain study should be done or you want them to look at something in particular, you can bring that up as well.
Wow, okay.
And with the data you have, you may not be able to
Yeah,
do that, and that's completely understandable.
Okay, and so, okay, so you, just so I'm clear from a zoning perspective, it's all under general commercial, but staff feels that this could be approved under a conditional use permit, and there's no issues with that.
No, conditional use permit is the appropriate document to approve this type of project in the CR. Some of them have development plans, such as Carrie Moriarty's was a development plan as opposed to conditional use permit. This is a conditional use. Same typical process, just different terminology.
Okay.
And Andrea will show you the site plan on the board, and then we can have the applicant speak.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I'm sorry. I thought you were done, Andrew. I apologize.
I was just going to point out, so the Trace Rosis building here would be the Event Center building, and this is the Pink Treasure building, which would be the location of the clubhouse, and then just immediately adjacent to that would be the location of the miniature golf course. Of course, now knowing the Caltrans right-of-way there, it would need to be moved back slightly, but
Okay, understood.
yeah. Yeah, and that concludes the staff presentation. We're available for questions.
I don't have any more questions for staff. Joe,
No, not this time.
you good, Art? Joe, okay. Okay, thanks, Andrea. Applicant, if you'd like to speak. I do need, no, he doesn't need to fill out a slip, right? No slips.
It would prefer so we have his name
okay.
for the record, and I'll get it for him.
Okay. He's going to grab a yellow slip for you to sign. Don't worry about it.
No, go ahead and speak.
Just press ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mark. Okay, good evening. Nice to be here. My name's Kent Lemix, and I live here in Buellton. I have for 4 years now, approximately, and I'm pretty much from Southern California, Ventura, Santa Barbara area. My wife and I own a little property over here on Highway 246, where the old Christmas tree farm is. We bought that 5 acres a few years ago. So having lived here and seen what type of activities we have and don't have, and I have 2 children that are going to Haneda Middle School, I was keeping my mind open for possibilities of some kind of a business endeavor that would provide some outdoor activity for children and for actually the entire population. So in passing this vacant lot, I noticed that it's really not very attractive the way it is. And looking into the shape, can you go back to the
Site plan? or-
yeah, no, the other one, the vicinity.
Vicinity.
Well, you can see by the shape of it.
Yeah, a microphone, if you could take that with you.
Oh, okay.
We need to record.
You can see by the shape of it that it's really hard for any kind of a large development. I don't think you could put big buildings on it. It's got the little creek bed going right by there, and it's got that storm drainage from Caltrans there also. So in terms of what kind of developments you can do there aren't many. And so in coming up with the concept of putting a miniature golf course there, I think that really fits that property more than almost any other kind of development you could do there. So it's right in the center of Buellton. You know, when people drive by off the Highway 101, they go on the 246 or going the other way. What they're seeing now I don't think is that attractive. But if we build a really nice scenic miniature golf course with maybe some palm trees and some waterfall and things like that, I think it could be a very attractive visual when people drive by through Buellton. It would enhance the area. So in terms of the Caltrans right-of-way, well, the visual we have showing the miniature golf course really is concept only. So we didn't take into account things like that. But there's enough land there at the bottom of the triangle on the right that we can move a lot of that miniature golf course down into that area if we need to. So we can totally avoid the Caltrans cutoff if we need to. The other thing is you can get permission from Caltrans. It's a permit application process. to landscape on their property, on their right-of-ways. So, but that's something that is possible for us to pursue.
And if I can just mention that yeah, may or may not be appropriate in this particular area because we're doing our streetscape project through that area, so it's going to be set on what's going to happen there as far as right-of-way and improvements. So they may or may not allow landscaping to continue past. So it's not a typical situation for that particular site because of the drainage. and
Sure, if it's all going to be
improvements.
changed anyway, then there's no point in that. Okay, so one of the other questions that came up is parking and access. So let me pull the microphone out again. And my initial concept is to have the traffic come right in, come just past the Tres Rosas restaurant building and come in here, and then have some parking over here and keep this building and have some parking over here. This would be the clubhouse. And then continue the parking on down around here and on down around here, and have the traffic actually go in a circle so that it comes down and out and comes out onto Avenue of the Flags. In that way, you don't have people pulling their cars in and pulling their cars out and everything like that because Highway 246 is so busy. So that's just, again, a preliminary concept. And with the miniature golf course, I don't think that we have any regulations on how many parking spaces you have to have, but many places they say it's 1.5 to 2 parking spaces per hole. So if we have 18 holes, you know, we need 1.5 to 2 parking spaces for each hole. So that's completely doable in here. And again, some of this is paved already and some of it's not. And then we want to avoid the creek area so we don't have to do any kind of mitigation in that area. What we'll have to control, I'm sure, is stormwater drain off. So that's about it. So the course would be over here. We can avoid that, just bring it on down here and do a little bit more if we need to. And this building wouldn't be there.
So what are you going to do with the other half of the property?
So I've got parking, and I've got the golf course over here, which other have?
You don't need all that parking. I mean, what are you doing with the
No,
southwest?
it's open. I mean, I haven't planned to do anything in there. Again, it's an odd shape. It's really difficult to come up with different ways you might use it, but it doesn't hurt to keep some of it as open space.
Okay.
Because that's the north end of Flying Flags RV Resort, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked about having an access, Ben Cattell and I have talked about having an access so their customers could walk straight over into the miniature golf course.
Okay. I don't have any. I don't have any. Do you have any questions for the applicant?
No, Mark kind of answered the one I had about Caltrans, what they're will and won't do, so that's...
Yes. Yeah.
Joe?
I think it's something that we need to have, or something that's doable if we can get everybody lined out.
No, I think it's a great idea. I like that. I like the idea. Question I have is on the street side access to the actual venue there. I'm thinking about people playing and all that. There's probably some sort of fencing or some sort of barrier and that kind of thing that'll be required, or is it just? I guess I don't know what it would look like.
On the street side?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a little bit of a fence so people don't just walk in there.
Yeah.
But it can be something attractive, like a wooden rail, fence, modern, not old-fashioned.
And then as far as I mean, there's things like the Golf and Stuff brand or whatever that's these super high end with all these, I don't know, building size attractions on the course. And then there's the kind where it's just little cardboard cutouts, it looks like. In terms of the project, what type of scale are you looking on in terms of what the quality of the build-out would be?
Right. It will be mid-range. It's not a full-on family entertainment center where you have the go-karts and everything, and it's not a big castle frontage or anything like that. Very kind of low-key but attractive looking. So the whole idea is to make it comfortable so people come and they want to be there. They want to relax there. So a lot of our customer base will be tourists, and so you want them to feel like, hey, I'm really on vacation now. I came to a really nice looking place. So we're not going to have the clowns and and cowboys or anything like that. It's purely landscaping based with maybe a little creek and some water ponds and a waterfall.
And Mark, do we have requirements for these type of buildings? I mean, I have no experience with this. I mean, everything else has an architectural type style that we have to adhere to.
Right, and the buildings, we'd have those upgraded to one of our architectural styles. As he stated, it's more of a landscaping type of thing as opposed to an architecture type of thing for the golf area. So we get landscaping and trees and things like that in that area. But the buildings we would work on to make sure they're upgraded and they would be attractive and meet our standards.
Okay.
So they really, just close to the restaurant, the Taro
Pink
Rios,
Treasures.
that building would be gone?
The one where the palm reader is would be gone.
Yes, and so the event center, we'll call it event center, is actually more of a snack bar birthday party
Right.
place. So the current thinking right now is just to have maybe some ice cream, some prepackaged snacks and sodas and things like that. But if somebody has a birthday party there, they might bring their own cakes and things. But so it's not a big scale on that. And so what we're looking at really on both buildings is trying to do as much remodeling as possible, but not new construction on the outside or anything like that.
Well, there'll be some new construction on the outside to make them a little nicer looking
Absolutely.
and things like that.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm meaning as far as architectural.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm on the fence on this whole thing. I'm a straight shooter.
No problem.
So, from what you presented, I would probably vote against it. This is like a huge piece of frontage. I plan to be very particular no matter what person comes in and proposes this property. Now that being said, maybe you ramp up the beautification of this. The buildings end up looking really nice. It flows. There's a lot of kind of nuanced detail that you put into this that could sway me. Yes. I agree with you. I have kids. I have kids at Oak Valley, so I'm with you on the things to do. I get it. That being said, I don't want a half ASS looking miniature golf course on the core of our.
Okay.
And I get it. I'm sure you're not looking for that either.
No, but
yeah.
what I was going to say is you have full control over that anyway. As the plans go forward,
Yeah, I
if
do.
you don't like what you see, you just tell me and we have to change it.
No,
You see what I'm saying?
that's fair. At some point though, you're a businessman, so you can't put a $4 million golf, miniature golf course in here, right? So I'm just saying, I get it. You're at a crossroads, and
Well,
I'm just playing to you straight,
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah.
The money that we're willing to spend is the money that it takes to make a really nice golf course. I actually have some material from Harris Course. They build and design the courses. If you'd like to see the brochure from them, it shows some of their previous work. I'm not sure that they're going to do it, but their designs are attractive.
that's okay.
And
I think
I'll leave it with
it's
you.
just you get the message.
And let me tie into that, Mr. Chair, because I think I know where you're going. It's not necessarily the 18 holes of golf. When he has this drive aisle going out to Avenue of Flags, that needs to be improved, landscaped,
thing.
and made
It's
look
not just
nicely.
it's not
Is that
just it's not just the putt-putt.
That's right.
It's the buildings, it's the flow, it's the pedestrian, it's the easement ways. It's going to be the
Right.
whole shebang. And so, out the gun, what you presented us, it'd be a no. But I'm speaking for myself.
And again, it wasn't. He
No,
didn't go to
I-
those
I-
details.
I get it. I'm just saying that as a whole project, not only does from what presented, I would probably want to see a nicer version of a golf course, right? Like these pictures, I'm not getting a lot of.
We're going to get the full
they're not-
submit. We'll get
No,
the full submittals.
I get it. I'm referring to the colored pictures in the packet. I call it a warm fuzzy where I work. I'm not getting a warm fuzzy. Enough said.
No problem.
Okay. Art, you got anything?
Nope, that was it.
And just a couple more items.
Yeah.
There are water features here, and we are in the middle of a drought, but as I understand, they are recycled and they recirculate. However, We would ask that the bottoms be maybe bouldered instead of flat concrete, because if we do get into a worse drought, recycling or recirculating still might not be an option, and they might have to be turned off. So if we could have dry stream beds there in that event. So we'd like that included in the design as well.
Sure.
And then, as he's mentioned, we do stormwater requirements, developing a vacant site like this with pervious. We're going to have stormwater requirements that we're under from the state now. All projects do, not just this one, but it's something we'll be taking a look at.
And there are limitations on the size and number of buildings you can put on that property anyway. So I think in addition to but there's not. Okay.
No.
But in addition to looking at whether or not the miniature golf course is a good idea, I think you have to look at what else is in the pipeline. Is somebody else coming along and saying, hey, let's do this or let's do that? It's not looking good the way it is. It's been that way a long time.
Well,
I think that's
Yeah, and when I started, it said the same thing about the commercial development that has gone berserk and everything else. So
Right.
I don't know. Art and I think have been doing this 10 years. You wouldn't be the first. You wouldn't be the first potential developer to come say, vote for me because this lot isn't going anywhere. We've still voted against it.
I won't be the last.
Yeah, that's right.
And, exactly. And lighting needs to be dark sky friendly, and the lighting that are shown on the plans, we want more decorative to match what the city puts in, as
Mark,
opposed
we're
to
not at that level of detail
Yes.
yet, Mark.
Well, when he
We're not that level of detail yet, Mark. You're going to cut me
Touche.
off 3 times. I'm going to cut you off 4. Okay.
Touche.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
That property is surrounded by hotels and an RV park.
Roger.
So I don't think it really fits in with the neighborhood to put office buildings in there or something like that. So, because it's a real tourist, our business would be a real tourist-oriented business.
Yeah.
It's good for the economy. It's good for not only the local population, but for the entire, even the valley.
I don't think, I'll speak for you, I don't think Foster's questioning that. I think that the concern that I have is, and that what I'm hearing you state multiple times, is the overall appearance of the project. Right now, that's an eyesore, that entire area.
Correct.
And so my concern is how you're going to redevelop it so that it looks like it's appropriate to the master plan, the specific plan that we have going forward on the avenue there.
Right.
And how your project will incorporate some of the features that we're looking for. And so the reason I asked the question is because I have 4 kids. I've seen multiple putt-putts from here to New York. And depending on the developer and depending on the investment, they can be what I would call from the hokey to the just incredible. Sure. And, I don't expect incredible maybe on a small piece like that, but I want to make sure that it's something that, that fits into the plan. And that's why I ask about the architecture part of it and the landscaping, that it's appropriate quality and status that for based on what our city wants.
That's exactly what we want to do. So.
Good. That's all I want to hear. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well said, Joe. Thank you, sir.
You're
Okay. Adjourned,
There you go.
right?
He's going to come do the same thing.